So go to chapter 3, market research. When we talk about market research, it's basically you understanding, trying to seek information about what customers want to buy, what customers would need to get, what makes them happy. That is about market research. So you seek for information about the needs and the wants of customers. Do you get that? Yes. So let's go down, please. Yeah, the purpose of market research. Are you there? It said market research involves gathering, presenting, and analyzing information regarding the marketing and consumption of goods and services. So it's about you trying to collate information. So how are you going to be able to do this? You'll be able to do this by using some market researchers to seek information, to get information from customers, or even potential customers, about what your products are, how they feel your product is. They will get feedback from them. Then that allows you to be able to know what to do to improve your products. So that is what market research is talking about. So market research can be expensive, but businesses are prepared to meet the cost because the benefit it brings. What are the main purposes of this research? So it is expensive to make research, that's the fact, but it is beneficial, especially for businesses, because it allows them to gain more customer knowledge, which means that they'll be able to know the weakness of customers, then they can work on it. So it is expensive, but businesses always make plans ahead for that. I mean, financially, they make budget for it so that they can, get better in what they need to know about customers. If they don't spend money, they wouldn't be able to know. So it's important for them to spend because it's worth it at the end of it all. So what are the purposes of market research? The first one, to identify and understand customer needs. So a business will be more successful if it can supply products that meet customer needs. So it's important to know what these customers want so that you can provide it for them. As soon as you are able to do that, it means you are providing what the market demanded for. So you don't have to dwell on if you are going to sell or not, because you are providing the type of good or the type of services that customers would really want to buy. So that's the first point of identifying and understanding customer needs. Mm-hmm. So when you're able to understand, so what are those things that you need to understand in the course of identifying customer needs? The model, the style that customers will want. How do they want it to look like? The color. What are the colors that are attractive to customers? Durability. How useful is it to them? Like, can it last for a long period of time? The product. Can it last for a very long period of time or not? Because customers want products that can last longer. Not that they have to buy now and they have to replace it every now and then. The third point, efficiency and performance. The value for the product. Oh, we spend so much on it, but we are enjoying the value for the product. It's important. Ease of handling. Is it easy for them to use or not? Ease of storage. Is it easy to keep, or after a lot, it takes a lot of things for you to be able to? Is it perishable or not perishable? Like, can it last longer when you have to store it or not? So these are the things that customers will need to, businesses have to watch on when they are trying to identify the needs and wants of customers. Do you get the point, please?
Yes.
We'll move on. I think the points are clear, right?
Yes.
So once this data has been gathered, a business can design a product that meets the specific needs of customers. The data gathered by market researchers need to be detailed as possible. If possible, businesses need to anticipate customer needs. When you talk about anticipating what customer needs, you are trying to predict what customers would want in the future. It is also important, not just you understanding what they want right now. Anticipate it. Try to predict what you think would entice them. Predict what you think will get them attracted to your business, even in the future. That is the point there. Is it clear?
Yes.
So this means that they try to predict what customers want in advance, like I told you, in the future, and respond to changes very quickly. Because businesses operate in a rapidly changing environment and have to keep up with the latest trends, fashion, technology, and design. So businesses that are unable to keep up with changes, that are not flexible, they are always out of business because things change. Trends, fashion, technology, design, they change every now and then. So if your competitors are changing, if customers' needs and wants, if customers' designs their style is changing, you have to start working on it too. You have to be proactive so that you don't lose those customers to your competitors. I think you understand anticipating there.
Yes.
Two, to identify gaps in the market. So if a business can spot a gap in the market, it is likely to gain a competitive edge for a while. So another advantage, another purpose of market research is for you to understand the gap in the market. What does this market need? What is not present in this market? What are the competitors not providing? So when you are able to provide what competitors are not providing, you have a competitive advantage over them. Do you get the point of to identify gaps in the market here? You try to understand what the business, what competitors are not providing in the market. So that is the point there. Is it clear?
Yes.
The third point.
Reduces.
So it said to reduce risk. Thank you. Setting up a business or launching a new product is risky. As market gets larger and as competition gets fiercer, launching new products becomes even riskier. The likelihood of failure is high, but investment in effective market research can help reduce the risk of failure. There are many examples of costly product failure that may have resulted from misreading the market or failing to carry out effective market research. So the point about reducing risk, when you make market research, you will be able to understand more about the market. So this reduces the risk of your products not being sold. But if you don't make an effective research, then your business or your product might fail to meet the demand of the market. Do you get the point here? So as soon as you're able to make an effective research, you have the facts, you have the figures. This allows a business to be able to reduce its risk because investment are risk. You are selling to customers that don't know you, that only care about the product. They don't have empathy for you. They only want to buy the product. So it is important for you to know what you need to do so that they will be able to buy these products. So with market research, the risk of failing reduces. That is the point. So another purpose of making the market research is for you as a business to reduce the risk that might happen in the future about your product. So research reduces risk in the business. Is it clear?
Yes.
The last point there is to inform business decisions. So businesses have to make complex decisions, and generally the quality of making decisions can be improved if managers have access to meaningful information. Market research can provide a wide range of information that can be used to improve decision making, particularly when making marketing decisions. For example, one of the most important decisions made by a business is what price should be charged for a product. So managers make decisions. Decisions are made virtually every second. Every second in a business life, decisions are being made. So it is important for managers who take these decisions to have useful information about products, about services, about customers, about the competitors, so that they can make a tangible decision. If not, the business, the manager, everything will fail. So one of the reasons why we need to make research is to have information about the business so that we can make decisions that are going to be effective to making us to have a competitive advantage over our competitors. Do you get the point here? So managers also need information, and we can't get information while sitting down. We need to seek for information, and because of seeking for information, it means we are gathering information, which is research. So these are the reasons why we make research: to seek information, to make decisions, to anticipate customer needs, to understand the gap in the market, and to identify the needs and wants of customers. Any question about that? Shall we move on? So we go to methods of primary research. So we have two types of research. We have the primary research and secondary research. The primary research is basically first-hand research. That means the research is carried out for the first time. So methods of primary research. So here they wrote, businesses use primary or field research to gather information that does not already exist. So we call it field research or primary research because this information is first-hand. It was never in existence. So it involves collecting new information for new sources. Primary data is usually gathered by asking questions or observing people's behavior. The main advantage of primary research is that it is original and the information gathered can be adapted to the needs of the business. So one of the advantages of using primary research is that the information is first-hand, it is original, it's from the source. So this means we are having a first-hand information about customers. It means we are having first-hand information about competitors. That is an advantage about primary or field research. However, conducting primary research is often time-consuming and expensive. The problem about primary research is that it is time-consuming. It takes time, and you have to spend a lot of money. It is expensive. I think that is clear. Yes. Okay, so businesses employ a market research agency to carry out research. Agencies are experts in gathering, presenting, and analyzing information. However, they may be too expensive for many businesses. Some of the main methods of gathering primary data are discussed briefly. So one of the methods of market research is through questionnaire. When we talk about questionnaire, that means they are typed questions that you can give out to customers and potential customers, which you get response from as information. He said a questionnaire is a list of written questions. They are very common in market research and are used to record the views and opinions of respondents. So a good questionnaire will have the following. Before we go into the features of a good questionnaire, so like I told you earlier, I said questionnaires they are written documents that seek questions that has to be answered by respondents. Who are respondents? Those are going to answer it, the participants. So you get information from there. But for a questionnaire to be effective, it needs to contain certain features, which have been listed here. Number one, a balance of open and closed questions. It said closed questions allow respondents a limited range of responses. That means you give customers, yes, you have to make sure there's a balance between the open-ended questions and the closed-ended questions. So not like letting customers to even know the answer, and not allowing them to start thinking and thinking and thinking before they answer. If that happens, they might not get interested and just leave the questionnaire unanswered. So you have to be in between open-end and closed-ended questions. Do you get my point? You don't let respondents have answered immediately, and you don't allow them to think too much before getting an answer. That is the first point. Second point, contain clear and simple questions. Question must be clear, avoiding use of jargon. When we're talking about jargon, we're talking about words that the respondents don't understand. So use words that are pure, clean, and clear so that they can find answers to your questions. Third, not contain leading questions. Leading questions are those that suggest a certain answer. They should be avoided because otherwise the result will be biased. So don't use questions that in the course of reading it gives them the answer. Do you get leading questions here? Because if that happens, it gives subjective. It is subjective. So that means there's bias. Before, I already know what I have to answer you based on the kind of question I'm reading. I already know the answer I have to give. I already know the response I have to give. So if this happens, then there's no objectivity. That means the questionnaire is biased. It doesn't give validity to the research, which is not good. Then what's the purpose of making research if it is not valid because of bias? Do you get the point? The last point there said, be short. If questionnaires are too long, people may be reluctant to answer them or may stop partway through. So if your questionnaires are too long to answer, the respondents feel it is time wasting. They just leave it aside, or they leave a lot of questions unanswered because they are they feel it's wasting their time. Do you get it? Yes. So questionnaires can be used in different situations. What are the reasons why we could use questionnaires, and what forms of questionnaires can we use? Postal surveys. So questionnaires are sent out to people by letter, and they are asked to complete them in their own time and send back through post. So you get it through post and you return it through post. That is postal survey. Do you get the point? Yes. Telephone interviews. You make a call through to the respondents and you get one or two information that you need to get. The third one is personal interview. This is one-on-one interview. A questionnaire too. So those are the form of methods they could use. And the last one is online surveys. The online surveys, sometimes you make a call. As soon as you finish the WhatsApp call, they said asterisk if it is good or the service is good, poor. These are questionnaires. So these are online surveys. So they gather information to bring about decision making.
You're getting the feedback.
Yeah, getting feedback. That is what questionnaire is about. And research. Is it clear?
Yes.
So the second form of research is focus groups or consumer panels. Here they said if a business wants to very detailed information from customers, it might use focus group or consumer panels. A focus group is where a number of customers are invited to attend a discussion led by market researchers. So here we targeted some group of people, we invite them, and we ask them questions. Do you get it? We select certain group of people, we select them, then invite them to a panel, then we seek information from them. That's what we call focus group. Do you understand focus group here?
Yes.
Advantage about focus group is that it is cost effective. You're not going to spend so much money like when you're taking a questionnaire. But you get the point? You are going to use views of certain people within a group to generalize your research. That is what focus group is about. Do you get it?
Yes.
The third form of primary research is observation. For observation, here, the researcher will be there monitoring the behavior of customers or respondents or participants, then seek information from them. Do you get observation here? So here they said this is where market researchers watch the behavior of customers. This approach might be used in retail outlets. Observers might record the amount of time customers spend looking at a particular product and display it in the store. However, because there's no feedback using this method, a lot of questions may go unanswered. The observers do not ask customers to explain reasons for their behavior. We call it non-participant observation. Do you get the point? So I observe you, I get information out as how I can without questioning you about why and what makes you to do what you have done. So the problem about observation is that you don't get feedback. You can't ask questions. That means a lot of things, a lot of actions will go unquestioned and unanswered. Do you get observation here? The next point is test marketing. You are trying to sell a new product into a new market. So here they said, this involves selling a new product in a restricted geographical area to test it and sales level before a national launch. You are test running the market. You want to get feedback from the market to know if, when you finally launch the product, it will bring more sales or not. That is test marketing. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Any question about that? So we'll go on. Secondary. For secondary research, it means desk research. This research is not first-hand. That means the research has been done or has been carried out with a certain group of people. Then you are getting that information from that source. It is not field, it is desk research or secondary. So if your business use secondary or desk research to collect information that already exists, so these informations are there. We are only seeking them. We are trying to get them. We are trying to extract them. So it has been collected by someone else and may be available for other users. The information collected may be internal, which means that it already exists in the business. So we call them internal secondary research because it's already in the business. It's carried out within the business. And there's external, which means it's outside of the business. It could be through government statistics or other agencies, or through the internet. Yet secondary research is quicker and easier to gather. For example, internal data may be immediately available on internal company networks. Also, a lot of external data is available online. However, the main problem with desk research is that the data collected might not be exactly what the business needs. It may also be out of date and therefore inaccurate. So the advantage about using secondary data or secondary research is that it's quicker, faster, and cheaper. It's easier to be accessed. You can easily access it. But the problem about it is, number one, the information might be out of date because it has happened in the past. The second point they make here is that what the business needs right now might not be what the information is about. Yes, we might be talking about education, but how education is being run now is not how it was run some 20 years ago, some 10 years ago. So the information of 10 years ago might not be useful at this present time. That's why I said it might be inaccurate. Do you get the point here?
Yes.
So examples of secondary data are business websites. You can get information from the website. Media, the newspaper, the magazines, you can. Commercial publications, you can get information through that. Competitors, you can also get information from the competitors. Internal data from the business itself. And government publications, maybe the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Finance, you can get information about what you need from those ministries too. So these are all about primary and secondary data. Are they clear?
Yes.
So we go to forms of research. We have qualitative and quantitative. Why do we call it qualitative? We call it qualitative because it involves records, attitudes. That is why it is qualitative. But quantitative, it involves figures, numbers. So let's see what they wrote here. Some of the data gathered by market researcher is qualitative. This means that the information is about altitude, I said that, beliefs and intentions of consumers. So you're trying to get information about the behavior of customers. You're trying to get information about ways of life of customers. These are qualitative. They are records. Then, okay, like I said, it is usually written down in words or recorded in a video clip, perhaps. Focus groups, interviews, and social media can be used to gather qualitative data. Consumer messages on social media about a new product in the market will be an example of qualitative data. Although qualitative data can be quite detailed, which is useful, it's also open to many different interpretations. This means that there may be disagreement within the business about the usefulness of qualitative research. It is less easy to analyze statistically than quantitative data. So the point is that for qualitative data, your interpretation of the information might be different from my own interpretation. So everyone has different interpretation to the information that is being seen. So this makes it to be a problem, because my understanding of this information might be different from your own understanding of that information. So that means I have an opinion that is different from yours. So this is a problem. Do you get the point here?
Yes.
So that's about qualitative. Then we go to quantitative. It said it is expressed in numbers and can be measured. So this usually means that market researchers collect statistical data, such as sales figures and market share. Surveys and government publications are common sources of quantitative data. Quantitative data is often easier to gather, process, and present to readers. It is also regarded as being open to less interpretation than qualitative data. So for quantitative data, it is not, the interpretation is almost the same. We have 1,000 customers, it's 1,000 customers. We have 5,000 suppliers, we have 5,000 suppliers. We have 100 competitors, we have 100 competitors. So we are seeing the figure, the interpretation is about the figure. Unlike qualitative, that everyone has different interpretation to the information. But for quantitative, there's no interpretation to figures. 1 is 1, 3 is 3, 100 is 100. There's nothing like 100 plus, 100 negative. No, if it is negative, it will be negative. We will see it as negative. If it is positive, we see it as positive. So we don't have the interpretation to quantitative data is unique. It's the same everywhere. It's not unique. So yeah, it's unique. Yes, it's the same everywhere. So there's nothing you want to say about it that I'm not going to say. It's the same thing. Your understanding about it is the same understanding I have for it. Do you understand the difference between qualitative and quantitative?
Yes.
Qualitative has different information, different opinion to the information. Quantitative do not. They have the same opinion. Clear, right?
Yes.
Then we go to the role of social media in collecting market research. Social media is playing an increasing role in marketing. Businesses use social media platforms and blogs to gather information. Social media can provide a cheap way of gathering information about a firm's customer, markets, brand appearance, and other market issues. For example, most social media platforms offer numerous ways to analyze trends and conduct market research. Basically, we're talking about social media. Social media is a platform that allows different people from walks of life to come together and give opinion about a product, about a service. So with social media and blogs, you can get information that will already talk about your own opinion. It allows everybody to see if what they are seeing is true or not. Do you understand the point there? Okay. So these are the advantages of, okay, they said, okay, let's just go to, okay, the advantages of social media. They said it can reach millions of, one, broad reach. It can reach millions of people all around. Social media is everywhere. Anyone can just be there, in as much as you have network. Two, ability to target. It allows a specific group of people to be targeted. So whatever information you are given, you can, like I post on my Facebook account, I have specific target customers. So I'm posting this for IGC students. So it's IGC students. So you can use your social media to target specific customers. The third point is free or low cost. It's almost free and it's a bit cheaper. Personal. It allows communication on a personal basis with individual customers or groups. So you can inbox people if you need information from them. You can DM them. Fast. The information is collected very quickly, and responses are also faster. Easy because of technology. It's easier. Is it clear? Yes. So these are the advantages of using social media. Then we go to the importance of the reliability of market research. So what makes a market research to be reliable? A market research is reliable if so go to the importance of the reliability of market research. When we talk about reliability, it simply means the ability to use the same research over and over again. That is reliable. That means the research is reliable. To get the point I'm making. So I said, although carrying out market research can reduce the risk of products failing in the market, it is important to ensure that the data gathered is reliable. If market research data is inaccurate or out of date, any decision based on the data are likely to be unsolved. The reliability of market research data often depends on the number of people questioned and whether they represent the views of everyone. Ideally, information could be gathered from every single person in the market. However, this would take too long and cost too much money. So to overcome this problem, business uses a sample of people. A sample is a much smaller group. However, so the behavior and views of the sample must be representative of all the people in the market. Otherwise, data will be biased and unreliable. A business should, yes. So, like I told you, reliability means the information you've gathered, you can use it over and over again. And this means that you are trying to use a sample. Using a sample means you've selected a certain group of people that you're going to use their opinion, their information to generalize the population. That is a sample. Do you get what I mean by sample here? You are using a small group. You seek information from a small group to generalize the opinion of the whole population. That's a sample. Did you get the meaning of sample here? So this allows you, but the only way you can be able to do this if you generalize it. Instead of making research on thousands of people, it's going to take time. I think it's clear. You try making research on thousands of people, it's so time exhausting. It's going to take a lot, it's going to consume a lot of time. Why can't you make a sample out of it? Making a sample, but be certain that the sample you are making is reliable. If not, it is biased. So being reliable means that the results you are getting, the research you have made can be generalized and you can use it over and over and over again. Any question about it? I think that's the end of that chapter. So go to the question, please. Let's read together. They said, which of the following is an example of a quantitative data? Quantitative. Our market share is 14. A, good, you got it. Question 2. One purpose of market research is to do which of the following? Reduce the risk. Thank you. Reduce the risk in business. The third question. Selling a new product in a restricted geographical area to test it before a national launch is called test marketing. Test marketing. Thank you. And the last one. Which of the following is an example of internal secondary data? Internal secondary data. Historical sales figure. Thank you. Historical sales figure. So that ends chapter 33.